Crescent City Gumbo fans, this is DJ Damn Unique, and I'm coming to you live from Jensen Thomassie's house. He is a high school senior right now that has a lot of things going on. Very talented percussionist, musician, and he's a composer as well. He's got a lot of great music out there for you to listen to. You can find links on Facebook through me, or find Jensen Does Music on Facebook as well. Was it Jensen Does Music?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jensen's got a bright future ahead of him, and I hope he's willing to share all of his experiences with us, and that's why we're here today. So please, without further ado, Mr. Jensen Thomassie. Jensen, I hear that you may have picked a college already.
Yeah, it took a lot, because I was looking at doing a lot of things, and really music is one of those things I've always I love music, but it's like one of those things where you can love it, but not make money from it. And it's like, is it impossible to have a family and impossible to live in a house or an apartment or anything or do anything of relevancy with like a music degree? So for a long time it was like, am I going to do engineering, which I can make money from engineering, that's alright, or am I going to do music, which I really love, it's my passion, but like, can I make it? So a lot of people do performance, a lot of people do education, and I was looking for education stuff for a while, just getting a music ed degree, teaching high school and eventually college, that kind of stuff. Which for there it would have been USM, because I know a lot of people at USM, and it's a great school and a great studio. Dr. Wooden teaches there, and he's legendary within the percussion world. But I just didn't think education was really right for what I wanted to do exactly, especially as a bachelor's. So I was looking at music composition degrees and where I could find that stuff. And really, one place that stuck out with connections was Furman University in South Carolina. And they're a small private institution that has a fantastic music program. And I found out from a YouTuber, this guy named JJ Berthume, and he does composition lessons online. You should check him out. He's a really, if you're into composition, this guy teaches all kinds of stuff and all kinds of concepts that are really helpful for beginning composers, and even intermediate and advanced levels. But he put in one of his videos that he had like a Furman recital or something coming up. I was like, Furman, okay, that's where you go. And I looked it up, and I saw the school of music, and then I recognized the first name in there. Their director of bands, director of marching bands there, is Jay Bocook, who, like, you might even know the name, is like Jay Bocook arranges every like marching band, concert band. He's a huge composer and huge within like the realm of bands, high school band and college bands and professional orchestras, wind ensembles. So I was like, that's a great connection to have.
I would say so.
Yeah, so I looked into school a lot more. I went up and visited a while ago. The way I auditioned actually is pretty interesting, because it's a pretty expensive school, and I was like, I need to get a music scholarship and academic scholarship to like really like be able to do it. Especially, you know, not being too worried about debt and loans with a music degree, because if I was an engineer, oh yeah, I could pay that off pretty soon. But with music, it wasn't a sure thing. So I looked at the school, and I was like, it's not that possible. I'll wait for it, and I'll go look at USM stuff and LSU and UL, that kind of stuff that I was more familiar with and was lesser costing, and that I could go into the programs and be more confident. But then I posted on my Facebook page for orchestral musicians or orchestral percussionists, and I asked, I was like, okay, are these going to be good pieces to play for an audition, for a college audition? And I asked it, and then like a bunch of people responded, oh yeah, those will work, that's fine. And then one person commented, I saw you on your list of schools, because I listed oh, for USM, FSU, UL, and Furman. And I saw you listed Furman. I'm a Furman grad, and I studied under Dr. Omar Carmenades, who's a percussion professor at Furman. And he was like, you should message him. And she tagged in the post, and he responded, hey Jensen, looking forward to seeing your audition. Email with any questions at his email thingy. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll email you. And I emailed him, and this was a, I don't know, a Sunday that I did this, and I emailed on the Monday, and then like that Monday night, he was like, so the early, and I applied early action already. It's like, early action, he said, okay, you're gonna, like, you need to do this within a week. You need to submit the audition within a week to be considered for the early action deadline. So I was like, okay, so there's no way I'm gonna fly up there in a week. There's no way I'm gonna, like, do all that stuff, but I was like, okay, I emailed my band director, hey, can I stay after school Wednesday and record an audition for an hour and a half? So I had these pieces that I asked if they were okay to perform, and I didn't really learn them that much before then. So I just like literally that morning, I just like every hour and minute of time that I had, I just like, I'm gonna rep these pieces consistently and just get it as good as possible. Luckily the mallet piece was my hardest one for xylophone, and like I played it the year before for solo ensemble. So I was ready for that one, for like the snare piece and timpani and record all these things. And then I also listed, so I submitted it Thursday, and I submitted the audition tape Thursday through his email and the actual school's audition process. So like 3 days before the deadline. It was Sunday was the deadline. So within 3 days of a turnaround, I learned that I had a deadline, recorded it, submitted it. And then on that Thursday night, he was like, I saw you posted in your thingy also that you had a four-mallet piece to do with marimba or vibraphone or whatever. And he was like, could you record that and send it to me? And I was like, well, you see, that one I literally posted as a question, because I was like, would this be good? I haven't worked up at all, but if I learn this, would that be okay? So I had no clue with that one. So I literally, the next morning, it was like a Friday, and I had to learn it in the morning and record it in the afternoon. And it was just like, all right, this is going to be fine. And he said after, he was like, it was more of an assessment of like, you know, where your standards are and whatever. And like, one thing that he said that really stuck with me was, this is to, you know, to help me figure out a curriculum for you. I was like, oh, that's pretty personable. So like you know, have your own curriculum and learn on your what level I'm on. So that was really nice, and that's kind of the funny story of how I auditioned for them. And then a few months later in the mail, I got the acceptance letter for Furman. I was like, oh, that's great, and they gave me a huge scholarship academically, which was really, really helpful. And then the next month they sent out music scholarships, and I had to submit. I'm a composition major, right? So I had to submit a portfolio. And I had to do a 3-piece portfolio with all the recordings and that kind of stuff. And I luckily had some stuff like written out. I had a drumline cadence, because I'm a very drumline oriented person, that I'd written out, and I put the audio in there for them. And then I had the what was I putting there? Oh, I had the Parkland Elegy that I wrote last year for a brass quintet that we actually recorded in person. So that was good. I had that recorded to submit. And then I had written this piece for wind ensemble that my band hadn't yet rehearsed, but we handed it out like that previous week, that I wrote was The Ghost of Christmas Future, and it was a Christmas piece that we're going to play for our Christmas concert in December that year. So this is all in November. So like a month later, we're going to actually play it live, and that was my world debut, I guess, as a composer of an actual large ensemble. So I submitted those together in that week. That was probably the most stressful week of my whole year. It was crazy, nice. But it worked out really, really well. It was kind of like one of those things where it was like, this really couldn't have worked out any like right time. I don't know. I was really lucky to have it work out like that.
See, but I wouldn't call it luck so much with you, because you've been working hard. You have all this stuff all over social media that's just showing off what you can do, and that's gotten a lot of people interested. It got me interested. That's how we got in touch. And but how did you get into music? What brought music to the table for you?
So I used to, it's actually kind of funny, because I used to, as a kid, like say like I hated music, because like my brother would always play like these like pop stuff, like whether like he was like driving me to school or something or wherever, and he like played B97 top 40 kind of stuff, and I was like, I don't like this. This is dumb. And then like I'd go home and like my dad would play like Led Zeppelin and stuff. I'm like, this is actually good. I like this. So I got into like hearing music as like 70s rock and like that kind of stuff, and 60s, and even like 50s doo-wop. I love doo-wop and stuff, and that holds a special place in my heart, because like my dad has an old 56 Bel Air, and we used to like as a kid like drive around, and he'd be playing all kinds of like doo-wop stuff, and that's like it always throws me back to that whenever I hear that kind of stuff. But I didn't start playing anything until like 2nd grade. I picked up guitar because my dad had a guitar, and I was like, I want to do that. So I tried it, and I was like, okay, it's kind of cool. My hands were still small at the time, so it's like it was harder to do stuff. And I was like, I'm not getting good at this. It's just kind of, eh. Then in 4th grade, my school at the time had a mandatory, actually they still do, the elementary school that I was at has a mandatory music program all the time you're there. And when you hit 3rd grade, everybody does recorders. And everybody, so it's a giant recorder ensemble. It sounds terrible, but like it's really good for getting kids into music because they're like starting to like read music. So we read music by 3rd grade. We were reading completely treble clef, bass clef, all that kind of stuff. And then in my 4th grade year, they required that you learn an actual instrument. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do here? And he handed out mouthpieces and ligatures and sticks for everybody. Like, try, are you a woodwind player, or are you going to play flute, or are you going to do brass, or are you going to do percussion? And I went through and I was like, none of these are really appealing that much to me. So I kind of looked around at my brother played trumpet when he was, and he was still in the band at that point. He played trumpet. And I was like, that's an option. I can just do whatever he did. He can teach me stuff. That shouldn't be too hard. And then, because it's kind of like this idea of like, you got to get to the class, And I was like, I'll just fly through it with an easy thing. And then my dad, I was talking to him about it, and then he said that he played snare in high school, and he was a percussionist in high school. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then it's like, okay. And I ended up going with percussion, and I was like, okay, I'll go with that. So 4th grade, I learned percussion stuff, and then 5th grade, my school had this program which it's kind of similar to like WGI indoor lines. We were like an exhibition group of we go to like Destrehan or Dutchtown or Thibodaux and play at these big Louisiana color guard circuit performances, and we'd do our little exhibition show, and it was like a mini drum corps because we had winds too, and we had flags and a front ensemble and a little drum line. We're playing these tiny like Yamaha Powerlight 13-inch drums. Ooh. Yeah, they were really small, but it was big for me though. I mean, I was like 10 years old, and a little kid playing this drum. It's like I've got pictures of myself. It's like it's interesting to see. But that's when I really got into music. I was like, this is actually kind of fun. I like doing this on the side, not just a class or something I have to do. And then so that was Crescent City Cadets, run by Mark Richards, my old band director. I really can't thank him enough for getting me into this because it's like I never knew what it would spiral into. But at the time, it was like such a big opportunity to be playing music at such a high level for such a young age. And so 5th, 6th, and 7th, I did Crescent City Cadets, and that was really a good group. I did that marching stuff on the side. So going into high school, I already had 3 years of marching experience. Wow. And that was pretty fun. And then we did concert band stuff on the side, obviously. In 8th grade, I went to my high school, and at first I went over the summer to talk to the band director about doing band. And then for whatever reason, like the logistics didn't work out in time for band camp and stuff, so I couldn't do the first semester. But he was like, all right, come back for the second semester, we'll start you then. So I started with the second semester band stuff. So I missed the first football season, the field show and that stuff, but I came in for Mardi Gras, and they put me on bass drum, and I did that stuff. I was like, all right, and looking up at like my old drum captain and seniors at the time, it was like, wow, this is really something that that's pretty cool. Looking at these people and seeing what they're doing on the side, like with my drum captain marched Elite Independent on the side, which is a big Louisiana and Mississippi indoor drum line, and looking at these people, like I want to be like that, and I want to do that stuff, and maybe I can. And it seems like an impossible goal at the time, but it's like once you really get into music and see that stuff, it's really not that far. When you do this stuff.
Well, you've proven to a lot of people that it's not impossible.
Yeah, it's
you've taken something that has been more of a hobby and turned it into a passion, and now it looks like it's becoming a way of life for you.
Oh yeah, it is.
And it could be so satisfying just having music in your life, but actually performing and writing pieces like you do. It's amazing for not just you, but for everybody else. We get to hear it. We get to hear what comes from you. And that's one thing I've always loved about music, and about certain programs around here have been putting out students that do things like that, like Brother Martin, and a lot of other ones. They have amazing composers coming out of, and it was nice to run across your stuff on YouTube and Facebook, and I was like, wow, this is great. So I had to reach out to you. So I really appreciate you taking your time and doing this with us, because this means a lot to us. It could mean a lot to Louisiana and the world even, because some of your pieces are just, they're amazing, and it seems like they're ahead of their time even, because you think about the little intricacies at such a young age, more so than a lot of these composers that we hear these days that are older and they've been doing it for a long time. So we're really looking forward to what you're going to end up doing in the future. So, as far as college, you already have that pretty well planned out. What do you think you're going to be doing after college?
So, during college and summers, I plan on interning for relatively famous composers or whoever the opportunity is. I mean, I don't know yet. It's a theoretical thing, but I need to find internships, and that's a big way. I need to just get into the system. I need to find all these people within the music industry. Intern, because there's a lot of stuff that goes into like actually putting out a film score. Because that's my real big plan, is doing film scoring and writing music for movies and television, documentaries, all that kind of stuff. But like you got to get into that world through like little stuff. So I'll go in, be like, oh, we need a copyist or an orchestrator or somebody who can just put the notes in the finale or Sibelius when Hans Zimmer or John Williams, whatever, is like actually put into paper. And then I get a scribble piece of paper of amazing music, but you got to put it on like a program, distribute to the orchestras and that kind of stuff. They need those little jobs, and that's really, I need to intern there throughout college, and then after, I plan on doing masters and maybe doing a doctorate and maybe going back and teaching at some point. Because teaching is the backup. If I don't hit it big, I'll go back and I'll try to teach orchestration and that kind of stuff within a school of music. But really, I just need to intern first, figure out those connections. And another thing I do is not other than composition is arranging. I'll arrange a lot of pieces for like marching band, because marching band's a huge part of what I do. But arranging like popular songs or whatever classical music for marching band and drum corps and drumline, indoor drumline, that kind of stuff. So that's another outlet to write for high schools and write for colleges and these corps and stuff.
Well, that's beautiful. We need to keep in touch, because there's a lot of people that we know through Crescent City Gumbo and my family as well that are going to be arranging and composing, and you could always help them out. Like and it's marching band and band competitions is so big, especially here in the South. I mean, it's big everywhere, but around here it seems like it's a little bit more competitive. So you have a good chance of becoming exactly what you want to be. And as far as the instruction aspect of it, are you interested in teaching anyone, like doing private lessons for any particular instrument? Because you can make money doing that right now to help you fuel your passion.
So one thing that actually I literally just did, I think Monday, was I've been working on a Patreon, which is like, it's like patronage of the old medieval times and Renaissance, where like you have these artists and then you have a guy that supplies them with the money, materials they need because they like their art. So people who like my art can go support me on my Patreon and donate or get these like posts that I do behind the scenes. And I write a lot of music. Like today even I just released the first summer lick of this summer. I did 20 of them last year, or last summer, and then this is the 21st, the first of the second volume. And that sheet music, it's on the video itself, so it's got the video of me playing and the music and stuff, and like the sheet music in the bottom. It is a little hard to read, and that's on purpose. So you can go and find the actual sheet music and get it, and then it's only, I think right now it's $5 a month for all access to everything I write, which is lo-fi licks, the back to school etudes that I do, brass quintet music, even like some of my compositions. I have like cadences on there even. So like all this stuff that like, buying a cadence on J.D. Pepper or something would cost $15 for one cadence. $5 a month, you can get like 4 of them. I think I've got like 3 of them up right now. And warm-ups and all kinds of drumline, piano, all kinds of full orchestra, that kind of stuff is on there. But really, that's my money stuff, because I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Well, I did see your summer lick video today, and it was nice. Tell me about your summer lick stuff. What is that? What is that about?
So last summer, my parents went on a trip for like 2 weeks, and with my sister somewhere. She was studying abroad, and they were like, all right, we'll go there. So I was alone for like 2 weeks. Like I have no clue what to do with myself. So like literally the night they left, I stayed up until like 2 o'clock just like playing on my pad, because I can now. Because like no one was home, so I can play on my drum pad for hours on end, and no one's gonna be like, shut up. So I could literally just do it all in the night. So I was watching TV and just hacking away at my pad, and I was like, I'm just like playing. I should be writing stuff. So like I wrote a few licks, and I was like, these are really like they come out naturally. And you play through stuff, and you don't realize that you're composing when you improv. So whenever you're improvising anything, you're just composing it in real time. So I mean, if you can improvise, you can compose. As long as you can like translate that stuff to paper or to recording or something. So that's what I did. I was like, I just played through a few things and I wrote them down, and then the next few days I was going outside and recording them, and I posted myself playing it with the sheet music, and then they got pretty popular. Like, within, I did 10 days straight. I was like, all right, I'll do these 10 days, and those have been my summer licks, and people were like really liking it. I was like, okay. So I came back a few days later, and I did my 10th one with the special finale. It wasn't even the finale. But I did it to a song. I did it to "This Is America" by Childish Gambino, and I was like, I wrote this whole lick that I played on tenors, and then I synced the music up to it, and then had the sheet music, and it was scrolling, and it was a really big production. On my part, it took forever to produce and do whatever, because I got no clue how to edit this stuff. So it was just like using like these free materials on online programs and Microsoft Movie Maker to edit this like crappy audio and stuff. And then so I did that, and that really blew up. It was like 10,000 views within 2 days. And I was like, I'm gonna keep doing these. So I kept doing them, and I put out 10 more, and all of them were set to music. The first 10 were like just on my own, just playing or with a metronome or something. But the second 10 were all completely like synced with music and written to the music and rap and funk and hip hop and that kind of stuff. And then I just started a new one this summer. I started my first one today. But those have really, my main Instagram page, Jensen Does Music, was really small at the time, and I started putting out these licks, and that's really what like made me gain a lot of followers. Is from that whole summer, I probably gained 3,000 followers from those licks, and it's just from like putting out consistent, decent content, brought a lot of people to the page, and like, these are really cool, and people started playing them. It was really fun because it was like I was seeing the people play my stuff. I was like, people play my stuff, they're interested, which is another like it attached to composition, because like I'll write something and people will play it and they actually enjoy it, or it's it's the good stuff.
Is it surreal hearing other people play your
A
stuff?
little bit, yeah.
It's like, wow, that's really cool. It's a compliment. That's people are like, wow, I like this. Let me try it. Oh, that's wonderful. Now we're gonna have links for all of Jensen's stuff in the description. We're gonna pop some up on the video as we go, like right here and right here and right here. And we're gonna get to that in a little while. We're gonna have links for all this fun stuff. And just remember, keep in mind, Jensen, that when you do start changing the world and you need people to help you with those videos, Brian, behind the camera over there, he's a genius. And I don't know what I could do, but I could hold the camera if need be, and microphones. I am a sound engineer, so we can work that out as well. So, well, we're just going to go ahead and shut this down.'re going to get back with Jensen some other time, and we're going to talk more about this because I find it very interesting, and I think you might as well. So, we're just going to go ahead and say goodbye from Crescent City Gumbo. I am DJ Dan Unique. Brian behind the camera as usual. Please like, subscribe, and share. Be on the lookout for more things from Jensen Does Music, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks for tuning in.